Hey coach, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest content. And if we haven't connected already, you can do that by visiting the description below this video. You're going to find a link to my Calendly. Calendly. Book a free 15 to 20-minute call at a time and day that suits you. If I'm free on that time or day, then just book it. We'll jump on a call. I'll see where you're at with your coaching business, and I can see the best ways to help you moving forward. So what I'm going to be doing from now into kind of the future is looking at the number of coaches that I currently work with. Majority of them are based out in the United States. So I work with coaches from all across the globe, but a massive handful and a big percentage of the ones I'm currently working with are in the soccer industry and are based in the United States. So a lot of the content moving forward is going to be more relevant to coaches in the US, considering I work with a lot of them. But it's also very useful. All the information that I'm going to be sharing, uploading, can be used for coaches who are maybe in the UK, in Australia, or in other markets across the world as well. Okay, so even if you aren't based in the US, you can still get in contact with me. Description below, that's going to be the best place we can connect. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 weeks of the year you shouldn't run private coaching sessions in the US. Now, this is a generic video based upon data that I have gathered from the coaches that I've worked with. And I thought it would be quite a good video to do because I do get asked questions throughout the month, throughout the year. When shouldn't I be running sessions? Okay. Now, it's very difficult because every market across the US is different, and across the world as well. So even if I share with you 3 weeks throughout the year where I feel, do you know what, don't run sessions, they might end up being some of your most successful weeks throughout the year. Okay. But this is just a generic kind of video based upon the data that I have gathered from the coaches that I work with on when most of them have been a little bit quiet and where you could be spending your time elsewhere doing stuff to grow and push your business forward. Okay. So the first one is Christmas and New Year's week. So that is typically between December the 24th and January the 1st, right? So normally across this week, families are traveling for holidays, children are out of their normal routine, and participation rates across sports, especially in the US, are quite low because parents are in different states, parents are traveling, kids are traveling as well. There's not many teams training throughout that period either. So this is probably one time of the year where it's probably your time is probably better spent doing something else, looking to push the business forward in terms of your marketing, promotion, and networking, and getting yourself out there rather than spending time on the field, running sessions where maybe you're losing money or you don't have a lot of numbers and your energy and effort is probably better spent doing other activities. Okay. Now, that being said, I do know coaches who run camps throughout Christmas, that also have very low numbers throughout the camps, but they do run the camps. Okay. So you've got to look at a number of things, not just in terms of kids and parents traveling for families traveling, but also in terms of, is the weather where you are worth running a camp? Okay, because if you're in for example, New York State, or you're in more the northern states in the US, right? The chances are in winter, okay, it's going to be snowing and the weather isn't great. So the alternative you have, if you're going to run something throughout the winter, you need to find indoor space. Now, indoor space throughout that time is going to be expensive. So you need to see whether the numbers that you have add up to the amount you're going to be spending to run an event. Okay. Like I said, I have worked with coaches and I do know coaches in the industry that run camps throughout Christmas and also run training sessions. So it really depends on the market you're in, so the city you're in, the climate, and also your expenses to be able to run those sessions, right? So if your profit for running those sessions is very minimal, then you might be better off doing something else during those times of the year. Okay. Second week is 4th of July week. So this is between July the 1st and July the 7th. Okay. So many families are on summer vacations or attending holiday celebrations, making it one of the least reliable week for bookings. Okay. So I know from experience, coaching and working in the US, that July the 4th week, and also based on the coaches that I work with, that week, there's nothing going on really in terms of sports. Okay. It's one of the weeks, again, where many families are traveling, many families take it as a summer holiday. And in terms of activities, very little is happening throughout that week. Okay. So if you are a coach and you're starting to schedule out your year, July the 4th week, as most of you know, is going to be a very quiet week. So your time is probably better spent doing something else in the business rather than hoping that you're running some sessions throughout the week, which the chances are it's going to be very difficult because of family schedules during that time of the year. Okay. And then the third one is Thanksgiving week. So 4th Thursday of November and surrounding weeks. This is, again, a week where there's a lot of traveling, family gatherings, schools are closed. So it significantly reduces demand for private coaching sessions. Okay. Again, this is another very busy week for families. A lot of them are away, a lot of them are traveling, and a lot of them might be out of state where you are. So this is going to be a week where, again, I know coaches, going back to the Christmas example, I do know coaches who have run Thanksgiving sessions and camps, but again, numbers tend to be very minimal unless your business is in a position where it can sustain that loss for future gains, then it's worth doing. But if your business isn't in that position to make a loss based on the amount of kids and players available in that time of the year, then your energy, effort might be better spent doing something else, preparing for when the season starts to get busy as well again, right? So, coach, if you need any help with any of the three that I've shared, right? If you're thinking of running sessions throughout these weeks, you want to know the best way to do it, or you're starting to plan ahead and you have questions with regards to your scheduling, your planning, okay, get in contact with me. Description below, you'll find my Calendly link. That is going to be the best place we can connect, right? Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, a lot of the content I'm going to be sharing from now going forward is going to be US related. That's just because we've made a decision at our company based on the coaches that we're working with. The majority are US based. So we want to continue to attract more US based coaches into our program, working with us. However, that doesn't limit, right, coaches who are in other parts of the world as well, which we also do work with on a weekly basis. Okay, so make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. And again, if you have any questions or you want to connect with me, visit description below. That's going to be the best place we can do that through there. Right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.